Hi, Ashley here with HeartHookHome.com, and today we are learning how to crochet this variation of the Tunisian mesh stitch. This is such a fun stitch. It's very pretty, it's open, it's airy, it works up very quickly because of the way that these open stitches are. It does require some blocking when you're finished with your piece, but it is absolutely gorgeous. I am using this stitch in this new Tunisian scarf pattern I have, and it is so open and so holey and so airy, and it's just got that great texture to it. So let's learn how to crochet this variation of Tunisian mesh. Using our Tunisian hook, we are going to go ahead and start with a foundation chain with an even number. So here I have 10 chains. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a foundation row of Tunisian simple stitches. In order to do that, I'm going to find the second chain from my hook right here, and I'm going to look at the back bar, so I'm going to turn it just a little bit. I'm going to pull up a loop in that back bar. I'm going to pull up a loop in every single one of these chains to the end of the row. And this is just the foundation for most Tunisian stitches. You're almost always going to start with a row of Tunisian simple stitches. So I picked up loops in every single one of these chains all the way to the end. Now I am going to chain one, and now I'm going to yarn over and pull through two, yarn over and pull through two, yarn over and pull through two, all the way until I get back to the beginning. So there we are with our foundation row of Tunisian simple stitches. Now, in order to start the actual mesh portion, what we are going to do, we are going to yarn over, which is technically an increase, and now we're going to decrease. So we're going to offset that increase with a decrease in these first two stitches. So we're going to find not the outside one here, we never go into that one, but we're going to find those two first vertical bars. Since I've yarned over, I'm going to go in both of these two together, just like this, and I'm going to pull up a loop. And now I'm going to chain one, and that just adds a little bit of height. So that is an extended simple stitch. Now I'm going to yarn over, go through these next two vertical bars here, pull up a loop, and chain one. Yarn over, go through these next two vertical bars, pull up a loop, and chain one. Yarn over, go through the next two vertical bars, which should be the last two before you hit your outside loop here, pull up a loop, and chain one. And now we're going to yarn over, we're going to pull up a loop in this outside V. So get both of these sides of this V here, just like this, and pull up a loop. That is your forward pass for this Tunisian mesh. Now, in order to do our return pass, we are going to, let me pull my yarn here. In order to do our return pass, we are going to chain one. Now I'm going to yarn over, and I'm going to pull through these three loops here. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to yarn over, pull through two, yarn over, pull through two, all the way to the end of the row. When I get to where I only have 4 loops remaining, I'm going to yarn over and pull through 3 of them, like this, and now I'm going to yarn over and pull through those last 2. And that is what we are going to do over and over and over again. So let's do another row together. So we're never going to go into this first one here. We never go into that. It's always going to be the next two. So I'm going to yarn over. I'm going to pull up a loop in these first two here together. And then I'm going to chain one. Yarn over, go under the next 2 loops. So this is technically the yarn over from the previous row, and this is that chain that we did that we're about to do again. So pull up your loop and chain one. So on the next row, when we're looking at this, the next row we're going to pick up a loop with this one and this one, right? So yarn over under the next 2 vertical bars, pull up a loop, and chain 1. Yarn over, next 2 loops here, 2 bars, pull up a loop, and chain 1. When we get to this outside stitch here, we're going to yarn over. We're going to go under both sides of that outside stitch, just like this. Pull up a loop, and that is your forward pass. So now we are ready for that backward pass again. Chain 1, yarn over, pull through 3, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, through 2, 2, 2, until you have 1, 2, 3, 4 loops remaining. Yarn over, pull through 3 of those, and then yarn over, pull through 2. And that is it. That is all there is to this stitch. You just repeat that over and over and over again. Now when you are ready to go ahead and fasten off this stitch, we are just going to slip stitch across like we normally would with Tunisian crochet. I am going to do these 2 together, so I'm going to insert my hook under these 2, and I am going to slip stitch, but I'm going to keep it on the pretty loose side because I don't want it to be too tight. So I've slip stitched there. I'm going to go under these 2 and slip stitch here. Remember to keep it kind of loose. Then I'm going to go under these 2 here, slip stitch, under these 2, slip stitch. And then when I get to this one, there's this yarn over here. This is that last yarn over that we do every time before we pick up that outside loop. I'm going to slip stitch into that one. And then I'm going to slip stitch to the outside here, like we normally would where we pull up our loop, but instead we're just going to slip stitch to it. And that is how you fasten off of this stitch. You will need to block this probably. This is my square from this one and it's looking pretty straight so far. I have noticed that it kind of tends to slant a little bit, so when you are finished with your project you will probably want to block it. But this is such a fun and open, beautiful stitch that gives great drape and great texture and great just breathability. It's a beautiful stitch. I hope you enjoy crocheting this with me, and I hope you'll use it in a project soon. Look for this Tunisian scarf on hearthookhome.com. Thanks for watching.